All right. Morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Vays. Let's go to the charts. We're going to stick to our format. People apparently like it. I'm going to go through a very quick overview of Bitcoin, and then we can maybe chat some more between the live chat Q&A and take a look at a few other charts. Okay. Monthly chart, nothing has changed. We are sitting right at double support between the ascending triangle and the intermediate moving average. So we're moving on. The weekly chart has not changed either. Yes, the candle is starting to peak into the green, but we are sitting right at our declining downward channel. We are below both of the moving averages that I have on here. I changed the short-term moving average to a 9 period. And that remains the 50 period. This is now the 200 period. So once again, nothing has changed. I know people are like up in arms over this move to the upside, but what has changed is my question. We were in long positions while our Consensio model was favorable to us. We went in originally based on capitulation, which is one of the rare times you might want to buy the dip. Otherwise, you want to buy strength. We were adding to our position in strength while the moving averages were rising and starting to get above each other. When the price of Bitcoin was sitting right here at 44,000, the next candle opening at 44,000 would have had both moving averages rising, and they would have been above each other, giving us a bullish environment. Right now, everyone on yesterday's video is screaming how wrong tone is, but who cares? This candle has not yet done anything of substance. It is still sitting below both moving averages, and they're both declining. If anything, this chart is potentially giving you a chance to short Bitcoin on a rebound. Am I going to short Bitcoin on a rebound? The answer is no. I don't want to short Bitcoin in this environment. I'm going to stay away from it, just like yesterday, I stay away from it. It's very difficult to time the perfect short, especially doing it while I happen to be streaming a video during the 30-minute period of a 24-hour day. So we're going to stay away from any shorts for now and just watch what happens. Because I'm telling you guys, until this situation resolves itself and these moving averages cross back over, I am not interested in allocating any more bullish positions. We were lucky to get out of this with a profit based on my labels. Clearly, there was a profit because we went into 100% cash way above. We went into the initial Bitcoin position. So therefore, we're going to wait and see until this goes above these moving averages. Two more charts to go. The daily chart, it looks pretty. Yay, we rebounded from 36.5 up to 39 something. But look at the chart. What did the chart change? The chart changed absolutely nothing. I drew this line way before we fell below it, and we have not even gone above it for more than a few minutes. So this arrow still remains until proven otherwise. I don't see how Bitcoin is in any kind of bullish shape yet. It can get into bullish shape. What does it need to do on a daily chart? Well, for starters, it needs to break above the 50-period moving average, which it did for about a week and then rallied one more time. And now we are back down, making it a double bottom. So nothing here either to really be crazy bullish about yet. It can change, but not yet. Hourly chart. Waiting for the MRI. Oh, look at that. It's funny. Yesterday when I was doing this video, we were sitting right here and we perfectly reversed the market. Look at what happened. Look at what happened 1 hour ago. Not even an hour ago, sorry, like in the last hour. Boom, MRI top again, we're going down. Is this going to be us going down to new lows? I don't know. This one certainly caused us to go to new lows, right? So look at the last couple of MRI sells on the hourly chart. They've been pretty accurate. This one didn't lead you to new lows, but it certainly did a pullback on you. This one, is this going to be a short pullback, 1 to 4 days and then up? Or is this going to be something more substantial? I have no idea, but I'm not buying into the bullish case yet. Not buying into the bullish case yet. Sorry, guys. All right, unconfiscatable. Coming to Las Vegas in a little over a week. Time is flying. Come and join us for a poker tournament Thursday night. So a week from tomorrow, we are already going to be playing poker. The carnivory dinner is the next night following the first night of the conference. We still have room at the conference, no room at the carnivory dinner, still some room at the poker tournament. Let's see how many tickets are left. Right there, guys, got about 15. A few more picked up a seat. We are going to sell out the poker tournament, so get your seat. In the last week, I'm expecting a flood of reservations. Okay, guys, that was a 7-minute overview of the price of Bitcoin. Stick around, and we're going to dive into it a little bit deeper. Those that only have 7 minutes to devote to these videos, you are all free to go. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be back in 30 seconds, and we're going to move on with the rest of the show. All right. So let's look at other charts. I see a super chat question. Tone, is 100K still likely in 2022? Yes, 100K is still likely in 2022. Very likely. Even if we fall to 20,000, 100K is still likely in 2022. Even if we fall to 20. Well, Bitcoin's going down again. It may not go all that far. I like the moving average crossover. We're in better position now than we were back here. But still, I would be careful on that bullish position. All right. GBTC is up a little bit today. That premium will eventually come off the floor once FOMO sets in, but it's taking a while for FOMO to set in. Free learn trading section on tonevays.com. Also some, well, no more workshops, but some on-demand videos. They're not that expensive. They're more advanced. I will probably drop the prices coming in November. And then, I don't know, over the next 3 to 4 years, this will slowly become free, but we'll get there. By then, I plan to go back to trading anyway. Oil continues to flip-flop every day. Every day I look at this chart, it's like one day it's down, one day it's up, one day it's down, one day it's up. Either way, it's consolidating. The MRI top is still to be respected for at least the rest of the week. And then if next week we start trading above current consolidation, we will rise. Remember that time where Biden started screaming how expensive oil is and he was going to lower oil prices by releasing strategic reserves out of the US? They probably released strategic oil reserve. They released about 3 barrels of oil, right? Because they don't really have much to release. And they're saving it for an actual emergency, not you complaining about the prices at the gas pump because the people behind Biden don't want you driving a car. They think you're killing the environment, only they get to fly in private jets. You are in their way. You are causing a traffic jam. Therefore, oil prices will rise to prevent broke people from moving around too much. In a free market, gas prices would be really cheap, but hey, what do I know? So gold continues on its breakout path. I should probably put the same labels of bullish, bearish allocations. Gold would have been bullish since the moment we broke this line. Been talking about this line for like half a year now, probably. And not half a year, sorry, probably since November. Getting close to half a year though. December, January, February, well, half of a year. And now we're challenging this swing high, right? Actually, I'm not sure what this thing is. I don't need that. So now that we've broken above this line, the next challenge is this line. And we're right there. Do I think we're going to break it right away? Probably not. Maybe go up a little bit above it and now fall down a bit. But gold has been bullish since the break of the prior swing high. The S&P 500. Remember, we are on an MRI buy on the S&P 500, so it makes sense for the market to rally a little bit. This little rally in the market this morning certainly helped drive Bitcoin higher, but the stock market has now turned down. Did we have a 10 a.m. reversal? Let me see on a 10-minute chart. Well, we are currently in the middle of a 10 a.m. reversal. Here it is at exactly 10 a.m. The S&P 500 reversed course. Well, not exactly 10 a.m., more like 10:08 on the 10 a.m. candle. Let me look at the 5-minute candle. Right, so at about 10:06, 10:07, which is still within the bounds of the 10 a.m. reversal on the 10 a.m. candle, whether the beginning of the candle or the end of the candle, it doesn't really, well, it matters to your portfolio, but it doesn't really matter in the trading concept. We are in the middle of a 10 a.m. reversal. We have moved up off the low 9 points, 9.5 points. Now, timing the perfect low is very hard. Realistically, we pulled that up a bit. We're only up 6 points. And I would still be in this long trade off the 10 a.m. reversal, waiting for probably a 10-point move. But I would be setting a break-even stop loss at this point so that if, we go back to just above my entry, I get out of this trade and not lose any money. But other than that, I'm looking for at least a 10-point move to the upside on my trade. And if I get out with no profit, then I get out with no profit. S&P 500 is super liquid. So the moment it actually touches this line, you would have a proper exit. It's the most liquid asset in the world. ES futures is the most liquid asset in the world. And there it is. So this would have became a no-win, no-lose trade. And now we wait for another opportunity, maybe at 11 a.m. or maybe you don't make any money this day. But the important part is you don't lose any money. I like this 10 a.m. reversal, but because these things start before market opens, I don't really count them. Now, initially when this trade is entered, you set a stop loss just below your entry, but I would have rose that stop to above my entry by this time because it did move 6 to 7 points in my direction, or 9 points in my direction. in total. In my trade, probably moved about 6 points. The way I used to trade was minimum 2 contracts. So a 9-point move on 2 contracts is $900. That was my minimum. My absolute minimum was 2 contracts. Sometimes I've gone 4, sometimes I've gone 5. I try not to go more than that because it's just not worth it. So now with the S&P continuing to drop past 10 a.m., I'm expecting Bitcoin to drop further as well. They are fairly correlated. But I wouldn't flip-flop into a short position. I really hate day trading. I really, really do. It just gets you glued to a screen and not fun. Here's the S&P. The S&P looks like it's in very bad shape. This is a bad-looking weekly chart pattern, and it's setting us up to go down to the bottom of that channel. I'm going to get rid of this thing. That's not a good-looking pattern at all. So if the S&P is totally bearish, what does that mean for your Bitcoin position? Well, to me, that's a huge, headwind on Bitcoin. And that's another reason why I'm not exactly rushing into Bitcoin longs right now. Is it possible to consistently make $500 a day with options? The answer is yes, it is possible, but not every day, right? Like there'll be days where if your goal is to make 500 a day, you should be trying to make, say, 2,000 a week, right? Which averages to about 500 a day. Because there will be days when you lose money. When I was trading options, there were months where we didn't trade at all. And then there were months where our entire portfolio was invested. So you can't think of it. You don't want to day trade options. I know a few people that do it, and I think they're certifiably crazy because the spread on an option is way too high. So with options trading, it's really more of a swing trader's game where you should be able to average that per day, but you're not going to get it every single day. When you do futures trading, I have friends that are doing futures trading. Yeah, their goal is to make like $300 or $400 a day, and they stop. And they usually do that. Day trading gets you into a pattern of over trading. The older you get, the less trades you will do. As your trading evolves, the older you get, the less trades you will take on. That is 90% of successful traders reduce the number of trades they do as they continue to make more money. All right. Oil's dropping down again. Like I said, I would wait. I would stay patiently waiting on oil. But oil, I am so confident oil is going way higher. Probably my most confident trade right now. Okay. Where are we here? Fake meat. I'm waiting to see what happens on earnings with fake meat. Earnings is coming. I think it's possible for it to snap back to the upside. But then its trajectory will probably be lower. I want to look at AMC. Ooh, earnings is coming. How negative do you think this is? Do you think it's like negative $3 a share? Ooh, only 23 cents. That might be beatable. See, they were estimated at negative 53 cents last time, and they only lost 44. Interesting. This was, of course, one of those meme stocks that had no reason to go up other than what do you call Wall Street bets. This is a very bearish looking chart, but just like fake meat, it can snap back. Look at the MRI top right there. Interesting. Do we dare go to stocks real quick? Let's use daily charts. Amazon, I wouldn't touch it. Looks bearish to me. Google, I wouldn't touch it. Looks neutral-ish, but leaning bearish to me. Netflix, the daily chart looks terribly bearish, but we are on an MRI top, so I would not think about this all that much at the moment, but doesn't look good. Roku, someone asked me to look at Roku. Right, so Roku beat earnings. Well, yeah, wow. That was a nice earnings beat, but they were short on revenue. So they came up short on revenue, but they beat earnings per share. They did lose 28 million. Well, they didn't lose 28 million. They came up short 28 million, right? So Roku still made $865 million. And look at the stock of Roku. Look how far it's fallen. Just like Netflix, it's not the wow. Look at the MRI tops. Jeez, there. That's a good MRI buy right there. It did hold the market up. It did hold the market up, just couldn't keep it there. Red star candle takes you out of the trade. Nice rebound candle, consolidated, couldn't do much, down we go. Weekly MRI buy coming up. And do we have a daily MRI buy now? No, we don't. So next week with a daily MRI buy and a weekly MRI buy, this could kind of line up. The chart's very bearish, but it's also very beaten up. Keep an eye on Roku, guys. Apple, yeah, even Apple doesn't look that good. Tesla looks like a complete and utter disaster. Oh boy. Oh boy. Tesla looks terrible. You just fell below moving average. You just fell below prior swing lows. Not good. That's an ugly looking chart for Tesla on a daily scale, and weekly scale, it's on the edge, but the MRI says there's more downside to go. Facebook. You know what, guys? Facebook has fallen so much that this weekly chart is going to come up on an MRI buy soon, and that could reverse the market. Look at the MRI sell right here. That went really well. This one didn't really go that well for the sellers. That one went well. That one was a beautiful MRI buy. You see, look what happens here. Everyone's panicking. And the only thing that in this area, right, there's nothing here. There's no support here on my charts except the MRI. And look what happens. It didn't even care that the earnings were bad. Red. Earnings have been green. Green, except the last one was red. But it was already going down. So weekly MRI buy on Facebook. Daily MRI buy is coming next week. Could be something. Microsoft looks terrible, but it's on an MRI buy. Well, a lot of stuff's on an MRI buy, right? Because the stock market is on an MRI buy. AMD looks a little more bullish than the rest. Still not great. Same thing with NVIDIA, right off the 200-day moving average. Ford. Ford was looking amazing, but not anymore. I would stay away from it. Tilray. Man, tell me this stock is holding up. Tilray is kind of holding up. Would love to see it sneak above these moving averages. Watch them cross over. Tilray breaking above these highs could really set Tilray up for a beautiful move to, it's never the right color. For a beautiful move to the moving average. How's the weekly doing? Could be better. Starbucks. Ooh, that's a disaster. So if the price of coffee keeps rising, as we saw from the commodities chart, and Starbucks doesn't raise their coffee prices, their revenue is going to severely suffer. Severely suffer. But here comes the weekly MRI buy coming up. So be ready. If you have a daily, oh, daily is coming tomorrow, but the weekly is coming next week. Interesting. But I don't like this consolidation or breakdown. GE daily chart. It's just consolidating. It's not interesting. Whatever the hell Box does. Well, whatever they do, they're doing pretty well. This is a nice pullback to me. MRI top right there. I would stay away from it for now, but they've never had a bad earnings. Look at these green earnings. It's great that TradingView started doing it. Let's just hope they're, have the right number in there. But another green earnings, I don't see why this thing would crash. Whatever this is, I have no clue what this company does. No idea. Their name doesn't exactly give it away. Twitter. Can't wait for this company to die already. I know I'm on Spaces all the time now and I use Twitter, but I don't like Twitter anymore. Here comes the daily MRI buy. Maybe when it crashes tomorrow, Cathie Wood can sell another 3,000 shares at the low, and then it'll bounce, and then it'll go lower. 3,000 or 3 million shares. GoPro looks terrible. It's about to break this double bottom. It's below all moving averages. Activision. Whoa. Did their video game cure cancer or something? What the hell is this? They get bought out? What happened? I have no idea what happened. No idea what happened. So I like this consolidation. If this wasn't a buyout, then this thing will probably go higher. Square. Ooh. What do we say? We said Square at this pink line is a potential buying opportunity. It's below the line. Interesting. Let's analyze. Let's analyze Square. In fact, I want to go to my trading signals. And I want to put in Square. Can I search on it? Square is bearish, bearish, and bearish. So Square is bearish across the board on the MRI. Just an easy way to check where we stand. So we're bearish across the board. Actually, how come I don't do this? There are all these features of the MRI. Extensions, display, extension details, display higher time frames and detail count. Got it. They're going to show up. Oh, display higher time frames. I can't go to lower time frames. There they are. Forgot about this little feature. So my monthly is on a 4 and my weekly is on an 8. So this tells me right here how close I am to a weekly MRI buy. And we're close. So next week, and guess what happens next week? Square has earnings. So Square is not going to go anywhere. Okay, Square is here to stay. We have now pulled back to the prior swing high, and we're on the verge of pulling back to the swing high prior to the move, which is lower than the prior actual swing high. This is a good area to be in. It's a beautiful pullback. If I go to the Tesla chart, Tesla did this right here. Almost did it right there. It almost came back to its prior swing high. Almost. Came up just shy. Damn. What am I? Oh, it's weekly. What was I thinking of? Must have happened somewhere. Pelletier. Yeah, PLTR. Now let's get back to Square. USO doesn't really belong on this list. It's not a stock. So Tesla has fallen a lot. Not Tesla, sorry. Square. It's down 70%. Do you really think Square is 70% worse off now than it was then? Granted, it's holding Bitcoin, which is dropping in price. But when the Bitcoin starts rising, it's going to help Square rising in price. I like this weekly MRI buy coming up next week. We also have earnings coming up next week. How has Square done historically on earnings? They missed their last one. Their last one, they were expected to make 38 cents a share, and revenue was expected to be at over $4 billion. Are these people insane? What was it the period before? Oh, wow. Okay, they're not insane. They made 4.68 before, and they broke earnings. They doubled earnings from 33 to 66. They were expecting 38. They only hit 37. So they didn't miss by much, missed by very little. And what are they expecting now? They're expecting only 23 and 4 billion. So they're expecting less than they were expecting last time. This is potentially a beatable earnings estimate. We'll have to take a look at this after. MRI buy next week. Earnings is this week. Tomorrow, I think. Interesting. Let's see what happens. It would be awesome if like earnings is like weird and then it just crashes down to 81, 82, or maybe even just 86, and then rallies from there. That could be an interesting trade right there. ExxonMobil, daily chart. Whoa. Well, MRI top right there. Well, oil prices are going to go up, so the oil play with stocks may not be a bad idea in the near future. Whiting Petroleum doesn't look good. The others look way stronger. MRO, Marathon. This one looks very strong. Very strong. Weekly MRI sell though right there, along with oil. Boeing, not interesting. The chart looks weird. JMIA. Wow, another one. Earnings. What happened here? Is it tonight? Earnings is tonight. No, it reported earnings before market open. So where's the data? I guess we'll see it tomorrow. That is a nasty looking chart. This stock is a real company, and at worst case scenario, like Amazon might buy them something. I don't know. So this thing falls any lower, that becomes an interesting play on a monthly scale specifically. Look at that. Look at that. It's come off the mat before with an MRI buy. Didn't do it this time. I was, I would have gone in. I would have gone in. Look how good the last two were. Not this one, but you'll get another shot at it soon. Curious how earnings went. Lyft, monthly buy coming up. All right, I got so many of these things. I don't know if I have time to go through all of them. Lyft chart doesn't look great. I would stay away from it. What about Uber? Uber looks worse, so I'll say. Zoom. Oh, yeah, we've been talking about Zoom. Zoom is coming up on a daily MRI buy tomorrow with earnings coming. Look, Zoom has been beating earnings the entire way down. This is not normal. Look, Zoom has beaten earnings expectations the whole way through, and yet it's falling. What is going on? They beat on revenue. They beat on earnings per share. Crazy. What are the expectations this time? So last time it was 109, they beat it. 1 billion, they beat it. This time it's 1 billion and 5.05 and 107. Earnings are no different than before. So unless Zoom is losing a bunch of customers, I don't think it justifies the big crash from last earnings to this earnings. The company has lost 37%. Look, you have to dig deeper into these earning reports to find out why this is fundamentally, but you're an at-home trader. You have time for that. I'm going to keep an eye on this. The weekly MRI buy is coming. The monthly MRI buy is coming. And I'm still paying Zoom a yearly bill. So clearly people still use it. Now, I know people are going to alternatives. A lot of other people are going to alternatives, but they continue to do fairly well on earnings. Companies not losing money. Pinterest. Oh, boy. This one I'm not that high on. They're also beating earnings every single time, but I'm a little more skeptical about their business model. It's another play that could reverse. I mean, these things are beaten up bad, real bad. No idea what happened here. I'm assuming there's a buyout rumor. Someone is going to buy these things out. If they fall enough, someone's going to put in an offer. Pharmaceuticals, MRI buy off the moving average, looks bullish to me. Ferrari may or may not be in a hyperwave, and it's definitely fallen below this line. So I would stay away from Ferrari. That one can really go down in price. Twilio looks terrible. It's got plenty of downside to go. Also beating earnings the entire time. And did it make it to its prior swing low? Yeah, it did. This stock has always been so overpriced. It's insane. Consolidation at the high. I'm more bullish on this than the others. Deutsche Bank, not looking good. MRI buy tomorrow, but it's not looking good. That's an Indian stock. Looks bullish. SBA Communications, MRI buy, earnings is coming. Yearly sell, monthly sell. Wow, what a perfect monthly sell. I'd stay away from it. HFC, oh boy. Beats earnings, crashes down. Still losing money though. I'd stay away from it. Budweiser. Hey, looks earnings is coming. Let's wait. Jeez, that's way too many stocks. It looks bearish, but earnings is coming. Spotify, MRI buy right now. I hope this stock goes down and down and down, but I'm not going to deny this MRI buy. People still want to listen to Rogan when they can. If Spotify doesn't ban it. Mosaic. Looks like a nice trend line there. I don't like where it is on the moving averages, but it doesn't look too bad. Exact Science. I gotta drop some of these stocks. I just don't care. I don't even know why they're there. I'm gonna pick and choose the ones that I know. Canaan. I think Canaan will do fine to the upside. Bitfarms. MRI buy coming up. Look what happened on the MRI sell. Look what happened on a weekly MRI buy. I'm going to be bullish here tomorrow. Adobe doesn't look good. Looks very bearish. Fake meat we already discussed. Bullish earnings, clean earnings for Virgin. Galactic. I don't know. I'm not very high on that. United, I already gave a rant on. Oh boy. Yeah, sports ain't looking good. Well, when your top athletes can't get on the court or tennis floor. Did you guys see the news today? The number one French tennis player can't play in the French Open because of you know what that I can't say, or on my YouTube channel will get banned. I'll just tell you, when that happens, when you can't perform any physical activity because you made a decision, it means that decision worked. I want to reply to all these tweets. Everyone is like, how come this is happening to me? And I want to say, yeah, it means it's working. GME, is that GameStop? How is this stock still $117? It's like Doge still being up that high. This company failed. That's it. It's over. It's going to go down. Triple M. Wow. That looks bearish. Really bearish. Jesus. Cruise ships. So my parents are huge cruise ship fans. I mean, my parents would go on like 2 cruises per year. I don't know if they're ever going to go on a cruise again. So I don't know how these companies, and like I'm just going by, and they used to go with friends and everything. And obviously since the pandemic, and I'm telling them, don't go on a cruise. Maybe one day the cruise industry will come back, but the government destroyed that industry. AMC we looked at. Groupon, don't really care. Build-A-Bear Workshop. I don't even know what this is, but not interesting. DraftKings, here we go. Well, guess what? Guess what happened? Guess what happened? I've been telling you guys, this made no sense. This made no sense. They did well. Well, not as well. They corrected it, but they still did okay. And here we go. DraftKings rebounded fairly nicely. Been waiting on this. It was only so far down it was going to go. People are still betting and the company makes money. The stock was only going to go so far down, right? The company made 450 million in revenue, right? So I know their expenses are high. Still making money. Not sure why Bitcoin is there. And Trump's company. Yeah, that's right. Because you don't know how to launch a product. I'm still number 280 something thousand in the queue. I bet you there's scammers ahead of me trying to get my username. All right, I need to look at Peloton. PLTA. What is it? What's the ticker? PLTR. Is that Peloton? Oh, no. Palantir, sorry. Well, they missed earnings. See, they missed earnings for the first time in a while. And the stock had already fallen because this was the expectations that they're going to miss earnings. So what happens? The earnings estimate keeps getting adjusted, not to look that bad. And now they just missed it by a smidge, and stock might actually reverse. See, what people need to realize, give me 1 second, guys. what people need to realize is that these earnings estimates, they get adjusted. And it's kind of like in sports. So when I used to play in the NCAA tournament, fill out the bracket, and there was always this thing: how do you pick the best upsets? How do you pick the best upsets? Here's how I used to identify, and I've usually done well. I've played in these things with my friends, like 20, 30 people. I've never won first place, but I've won second and third place like a bunch of times. I've just gotten so unlucky. I was supposed to win a really big one. That game, man, that final, Duke against Wisconsin. If anyone remembers that, I think it was like 2013 or 2014 or something, that Duke-Wisconsin game where Grayson Allen got off the bench and brought Duke back to win that title. And Wisconsin was up 10, 15 points at the half. They were up 8 points with 3 minutes to go, and they lost that game. That was really, I can't believe they lost that game. So had Wisconsin won, that would have been, I might have won one. I've been playing these things for a long time, since university, since the 90s. But not every year, but most years. I might have won one, but I don't know. That's the one I came in second place and had, that's the one. But had Wisconsin won, I would have came in first place because Duke won and a bunch of people had Duke. I didn't finish in the money on that one. But I've got second place and a bunch of others often. But here's how I used to pick underdogs. People used to say, why are people so happy about close wins? If a team has a lot of close wins, what's so good about, that's good. And if a team has close losses, what's so great about that? You lost the game. Well, when it comes to these things like basketball, where you play a lot of games, in football, it doesn't matter. Close losses in football, it doesn't matter. They don't play 16 games, right? But when it comes to basketball, a team that has a lot of close wins, you got to look at, was that team a favorite? So if you have a top team like a Duke, like lately with Gonzaga or whatever, if you have a team that's supposed to be great, but they're having a bunch of these close losses against weak teams, that is not a good sign going into the tournament. It means you're barely winning these games, and one of these days, someone is going to get you. So I used to look at strong teams and see how many close wins did they have against scrubs. If they're not blowing out scrubs, then I'm not confident in them, in that strong team going into the tournament. It was the opposite for the underdog teams. If you have an underdog team that is always going down to the wire, but just can't win the game, to me, that is good. If you have a team that is supposed to lose by 10 points every single game, but they're losing by 3 points every single game, that basically constantly beating the spread, that's the team I want as the underdog in the NCAA tournament. Earnings works the same way. It works the same way, right? When you get a company that constantly beats earnings like this, but it beats them by very, very little, it's not impressive, okay? Like here, in line, not impressive. It looks good, but not impressive, right? But if it actually beats it, well, that's impressive, right? Because eventually what happens is these guys that estimate say, well, we came up so low. The next time we're going to really give a high estimate. And that's when they get blown out, because when they can't meet the estimate, the company might as well report complete and utter garbage in order to miss it by a lot. Okay. So here, this was a 43% miss. I know it's not a big deal, but 43% miss. after being in line, but then when you miss, you're like, screw it. We're just going to miss by a lot. Like we can't meet the expectation. So we're just going to lay down. And then next time the odds makers are not going to be that high. Okay. So you want to keep that in mind when it comes to identifying earnings reports. I'm not sure if any of that made sense. Anyway, I need to get going. This video has already gone way longer than I wanted. We're going to take one last peek at Bitcoin and see what's happening, and the stock market and see what's happening. The stock market is starting to rally, but I don't like this, right? This was supposed to be the 10 a.m. reversal. Here comes the 11 a.m. reversal. I may have given this one more shot in my day trading strategy, but I would probably rather wait for the break of these swing highs and not try to knife catch the low, because I don't like how this low went versus this candle here at 10:30 a.m. So nothing really crazy to write home about. The price of Bitcoin is back to 38.5 on our chart. I put 100% cash label at 39.5. You know, I thought I muted, but in reality, I closed the video button. So sorry about that. Try to mute, had to sneeze. And so we're still good in our cash position. And I'm not really like, this is not interesting to me yet. There is nothing in my chart, not across the weekly or the 4-day or the daily, that is telling me to be bullish right now. This can change. All right. Join us in Las Vegas for Unconfiscatable. Poker is getting close to a sellout. Carnivory dinner has been sold out. And that is it for me. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you all on the next one or in Las Vegas. By the way, guys, get ready for a nice long break of my channel, because I'll be busy with the conference. Bye, guys.